Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, gonna watch an old classic, one of my faves from my youth. It's called Horror High, otherwise known as Twisted Brain. Let's watch. We're in high school here. Meet Mrs. Grindstaff.
Tonight, your assignment will be to read the last half of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Not a nice teacher.
We may have a test over that material tomorrow.
This is our hero, Vernon Potts, played by Pat Carty.
Here it is. I found it. Here it is, Miss Grindstaff. I must have given you my biology report by mistake.
That's not gonna cut it.
Now. But Miss Grindstaff, it was only a mistake.
I'm sorry, Vernon.
Vernon's a biology nerd. He does experiments in the lab. He has a little guinea pig named Mr. Mumps.
Calm down, Mumps.
Mr. Griggs, the school janitor, who has a pet cat.
She went out of here scared to death.
I just shoot her away, that's all.
Just shoot her away, huh?
This is Robin, played by Rosie Holitek. He has a crush on her a little bit.
How's Mr. Mumps doing?
Not too
The feeling's
well,
not
really.
mutual, but she's
The
friendly.
janitor's cat's been after him again.
She has a boyfriend named Roger who doesn't care much for Vernon.
That's for sure. Robin, what are you doing up here with the creeper?
Oh, well, Vernon was just showing me some of his projects. Thanks again, Vernon.
The coach, he wants to get out of gym class.
You see, I'm experimenting with this guinea pig. His name is Mr. Mumps.
It ain't gonna fly.
That's the silliest damn thing I've ever heard. Now get out of here and get dressed.
Vernon can do this. Vernon can do that. I'm sick of it, you creep.
Roger and his buddies do some bullying in the locker room.
I'm not through with you yet. You know, this stuff doesn't make much sense, creeper. I don't think you need this page.
Vernon has created a formula. It's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. He's trying to transform Mr. Mumps into something else.
Look what I got for you. What happened?
Perhaps it worked. And then he finds Mr. Griggs' dead cat, which Mr. Mumps clearly killed. He was going to drop him in the acid vat, get rid of the evidence. Mr. Griggs, as punishment, forces him to drink Mr. Mumps' formula. And then he goes after Mr. Mumps.
You're killing him!
Wait, no.
Something is happening to Vernon. He's starting to change.
I'm gonna take you to the police, boy. But before I do, I'm gonna make you wish you'd never seen my cat before.
He turns into a Mr. Hyde type and then attacks Mr. Griggs. He dips his head into the acid. That's the end of Mr. Griggs. He ends up waking up at home and doesn't know exactly what happened, but he's got to clean himself up. And he goes to school early the next day to clean up the lab, which is a mess. All is well until this girl stumbles upon Mr. Griggs' skull. So, of course, the police are called. And you can tell that the main detective is a black man because of the early 70s funk.
What do you really think happened, Mr. Griggs?
Lieutenant, I'd be afraid to venture a guess.
Well, since things went so well the first time, Vernon's going to take another sip of that formula. Next thing you know, he's chasing Miss Grindstaff through the halls. Why she's there at night, I don't know. But he's reminded of when Grindstaff chopped up his paper. Same with her fingers. And now with her head.
Pops, you're late again. You know, PE class started 10 minutes ago, and everybody else is out in the gym.
I'm sorry. I guess I got delayed in the lab.
This time the coach wants to make a deal with him.
Football player who's failing in chemistry. And the principal says if he fails the next test, he'll flunk the course. And that'll make him ineligible for football next year. And one other thing.
Of course, the kid is Roger.
Don't tell anyone about our plan.
Oh, no, sir.
He's going to get him out of gym class for the rest of the semester if he helps. Meanwhile, he's also tutoring Rosie.
You're one of the kindest
Rosie
people I've
Holitek,
ever
of course, who
met.
plays Robin.
I guess that's why I think so much of you.
In real life, Rosie was 28 years old here.
You're very human.
And Pat Carty was 23. Nonetheless, it's the high school kiss.
I want to know what the hell you guys.
The authorities are staking out the school.
Loose around here, and two people dead already. Now I find you sneaking around here. Right now, that makes you prime suspect. So don't give me any crap.
You gonna book him?
I don't know. You mean to tie him up? Will you let me handle it?
Tie him up. Anyway, they let the coach go. And he wanders around the school. And there's Vernon again. Where are the authorities now?
That is you, isn't it? You me. I'll personally see to it that this course becomes a living hell.
Vernon's going to take revenge against the coach now. That's a hell of a toss. And now he's got cleats on his feet, and he's going to cleat the coach to death. Now the cops show up. Don't know how they didn't catch this as it was happening.
You stay here.
They found Roger in the building, so naturally they think Roger is our killer.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Robin is beside herself.
What if he's guilty?
They'll lock him up for at least 20 years.
No.
He's got plans.
I've got an idea. Now, since there's no school tomorrow, why don't we go to the park and listen to the symphony? Have you ever been?
No.
That's what every high school girl wants to hear.
Sounds great.
I can't. I've got a date.
Roger's on the phone.
I think you better call her and tell her something else came up.
Why should I?
Well, let me put it this way, lover boy. The night I got caught, I saw someone climbing in the window of the chemistry lab.
So apparently Roger was released. Roger knows Vernon did it.
What are you doing
I
here?
got you.
Was that you coming in the window?
Yes, you've got to get out of here. It's the trap.
How do you know?
So Roger was setting a trap, and he
No,
told
he's not.
Robin about it. Meanwhile, he's starting to turn into Mr. Hyde again.
I am.
What?
I'm the killer. I'm the one who killed all those people.
So a slow chase ensues in the halls. Where is he? Where is he? Here he comes. Apparently she couldn't walk fast enough to get out of the way of him, and she gets caught.
Couldn't get a pass.
But here comes Roger. And here come the police. That's the end of Vernon Potts, and that's the end of Horror High. Alright, let's talk about Horror High, aka Twisted Brain. I saw this movie, I think, in the spring of 1981. There used to be a local TV show in Green Bay, Wisconsin called TJ and the Ant. Ant stood for All Night Theater, and he ran a program, I think it was either Friday nights or Saturday nights. I think it was Saturday nights. Actually, I think it was Friday. I don't care. Who cares? It was basically like a horror host, although he wasn't a horror type guy, but he would show like 2 horror movies back to back. And that's where I watched Twisted Brain. I watched it. I was a little kid and I loved it, even though I can see it today and see it's really cheesy, but it's a lot of fun, actually. It's your basic Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story. I had this on a pre-recorded VHS tape, still have it actually. Actually, I inherited it from my Schlockmeister brother Jeff. He was really obsessed with this movie and watched this throughout his high school years. Like every Saturday night he would watch this movie. So he's seen this a lot more than I have. But I've seen it a lot too, but not anywhere near as much as he's seen it. And last night we decided to get together to watch this at his house because he hadn't seen it in quite a while. And he doesn't own the DVD yet like I do. There's a couple of extra scenes in here, a couple extra gore scenes, especially when they're chopping that head off. And I think the stomping of the cleats and stuff was new too, as opposed to the pre-recorded VHS tape. Plus, they cleaned it up a little bit. It looks a lot better than the old VHS that we had, which was put out by VCI, I think. So, thank you, Code Red, for putting this thing out. Again, it's a typical Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type story. Bullying in high school. Pat Carty, I think, did one other movie, like a Planet of the Apes movie, or maybe it was in the TV show after this. After that, he hasn't done anything since. Although he is a Facebook friend of mine, so how about that? He does talk about a lot of the stuff that he did, excuse me, when he was an actor as a child, too. So, Rosie Holitic was the actress who played Robin. She's done 3 movies and a Perry Mason episode. I happen to have all 3 movies. I think Don't Look in the Basement was one of them. And I think Encounter with the Unknown is the other one as well, which is something else I reviewed. Actually, I reviewed both of those movies. So I have her entire film collection here. She hasn't acted... Actually, the Perry Mason episode was in the 90s. Everything else was in the 70s. I don't know where she is, but apparently this movie was filmed, I think, in the Dallas, Texas area, somewhere in Texas. I love it. The coach actually was one of the Dallas Cowboys, I believe. But yeah, it's a fun movie. No nudity in it. Just a little bit of gore. It's cheesy by all means, but it's fun. It's a cool movie. So you can get this under the title Horror High from Code Red. It's out of print, I believe, but you can usually get this for the $25 range or so on eBay. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice copy here, widescreen. Pretty cool stuff. So anyway, check it out. It's got a couple of extras on here too, including they actually put the opening title of Twisted Brain on here, which I liked a lot. So anyway, check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this movie. It's quite memorable. So leave some comments. We'll talk about it. Horror High, a.k.a. Twisted Brain. Watch it.